Hello, dear friends, Pepenos here, and let me welcome you to the world of interesting facts and secrets of Minecraft. Today, this video will be quite nostalgic because today I will tell you and show you 40 facts about Minecraft that only old players remember. And let's begin. In the early versions of Minecraft, there was no hunger system in the game, and therefore, there was no hunger indicator in the game. This means that players regenerated their health by eating food. That's how players used to restore health. Few people remember, but in the early versions of the game, food in Minecraft simply didn't stack. Yes, you got it right. One slot equaled one cooked steak. On one hand, it was very unpleasant and annoying. And on the other hand, fans of realism were satisfied with this system. And I'm glad that eventually it started to stack. If you remember this sound of the door, you're a true old school player. And remember when birch and spruce logs were turned into oak planks? It was really weird. And remember the old boats? Yes, those same boats that were just awful to control and broke easily in blocks. Oh, they annoyed me to no end. Another feature that was in the early versions of the game is that you could shear a sheep with a simple hit instead of using shears or something else. It was very amusing. Until version 1.8 of the game, you could adjust the render distance and chunk fog. Pressing the F key helped some players with low-end computers at the time. However, for the majority of the community, this feature was simply annoying. Perhaps because of this, Mojang decided to abandon it. Remember when fences didn't connect to solid blocks? Do you know what was most annoying about fences? It's that they had a full block hitbox, and you had to navigate around it using the block's hitbox. True old school players remember the old damage sound. Let's have a listen. And remember the old texture of cobblestone? Many players liked it, but some found it annoying. Until beta version 1.8 of Minecraft, there was no sprinting function. It was very annoying because the character was too slow, and traveling long distances was a big challenge. In Minecraft Beta 1, 6.6, when you press the F3 key, you could see not only coordinates, but also entity IDs above the heads of mobs, giving you an advantage in finding dungeons with partners. And remember the old creative menu? Previously, there was no categorization or search function for the necessary item. It was just a huge list of items that you could only scroll through. To me, this menu was just terrible, because searching for an item took a lot of time. And remember the time when food only came from pigs? Other animals such as chickens, cows, and sheep didn't yield the required resource until they were implemented. These pigs weren't as common, so finding food was a big challenge. In the old versions of the game, the chest had a full block model, and there was no opening and closing animation. Remember this old explosion sound? Let's have a listen and reminisce. In the old versions of the game, you couldn't place double chests next to each other. The minimum distance between them had to be one block, which was very annoying because when building a warehouse, you couldn't place chests close together, so you had to resort to chest tricks. As you all know, when a new version is released, the background image in the main menu of the game changes to match the theme of the update. But in the old versions, there was one continuous background made of the texture of dirt blocks. In the old versions, when you entered the main menu of the game, the Minecraft logo had an animation and was assembled from stone blocks into the inscription. Personally, I think the idea with animation was much more interesting than a static image in current version. And remember in the old versions of the game, you could climb ladders even if there was only one block gap between them. An interesting quirk. It's a pity they removed it. In the old versions of the game, the lighting during day and night changes was very abrupt. Admitted, it was quite creepy to see how suddenly it started to get dark. You all know that in the current versions, crafting a fence consists of 4 planks and 2 sticks, resulting in 3 fences. But in the old versions of the game, crafting was different. It consisted of 6 sticks, resulting in only 2 fences. In the current versions of Minecraft, when you press F5 twice, you switch the camera view and can look at the front of your skin. However, in the old version, you didn't have such an opportunity because there was only third-person point of view, and you could only examine the back of your skin, which was quite sad. In the early versions of the game, there was a limitation where you could only store 5 worlds at a time until version 1. Up to version 1, 7.2. In the game, there were beautiful roses. I was very disappointed when they were replaced with poppies. It was very sad. Players who remember the game from the alpha version know that previously, the inventory opened when you pressed the I key, not E. Some old school players still use the old method of opening the inventory. And do you remember the old texture of gravel? It was very strange. In the early versions of the game, when you killed zombies, feathers would drop from them instead of rotten flesh. Why the developers decided on this remains a mystery to this day. Did you know that in the current versions of the game, the maximum enchantment level required to enchant an item costs 30 experience points? But did you know that when the developers first added the enchantment system to the game, the maximum level could cost up to 50 experience points? It was simply incredible. Speaking of the enchantment system, before it was added, when enchanting using lapis lazuli, if you enchanted an item to the maximum level, which cost 30 experience points, the system would deduct all 30 points from you. This greatly annoyed players, because to enchant items to the maximum level, you had to farm a lot of experience points. Now, for maximum enchantment, you only need 30 experience points, but after enchantment, the system only deducts 3 points. Another feature related to enchantment is that previously, you couldn't know what enchantment would be applied to your item before you did it. Now, the system is more transparent. Previously, there was a slightly different achievement system called achievements. I think many still remember it. Until beta version 1.8 of Minecraft, there was no eating animation, and the delay between eating was very short, so you could eat very quickly. Remember how the world looked in the alpha version of Minecraft? Oh, those grass blocks, those leaves and logs. They were so vibrant. Another thing from previous versions that I remember very well is how slow it was to break blocks and smelt items in furnaces, whether you used a regular pickaxe or a diamond one. It took a long time. Truly old Minecraft players remember that in the past, when you right-clicked with a sword in hand, you could block damage. This function is now replaced by a whole new item called a shield. Remember how we used to spam swords? It was a great mechanic, and I know many people were disappointed when it was replaced with a new one. In the early versions of the game, blocks like stairs, fences, cacti, and slabs looked very giant when you dropped them on the ground. No, seriously, take a look. I'm not the only one who thinks so, right? But that is all for the interesting facts about the old versions for now. If you want the next part to come out as soon as possible, be sure to like and comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Good luck to everyone, and see you in the new videos.